Three, two, one.
Here we go!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SIP Warriors with Quadzilla Karina.
And Viking Josh.
So today we're going to be talking about breaking habits. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Breaking habits.
Breaking habits.
How to fix it. How to change your mindset.
Yep. So what's your habits? This is one of the first things that we start talking about with especially new clients or potential clients, friends, family, anybody that wants to change their life. The habits. You have to break those habits. Whether it's junk food, eating bad, family events, whatever it is, you have to learn how to break those habits.
Yes. Sadly, we are creatures of habit, as our clients hear me say that all the time. We are creatures of habit. So what we tend to do is we want to create healthier new habits that will replace the ones that have gotten us in a rut.
Yes.
So we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth. But
Yep. One of the biggest things we try to get our clients and family to realize is what bad habits will create, and that is bad health. Bad health. So when you go to the doctor and they say, nope, you're good to go, even though you've been eating bad for 20 years, they're going to look what's on the surface and let you go out the door. What's deep down.
Real quick, let
Yep.
me tap into that real quick. But
Yep.
before we get into that part, so a lot of people thinking, well, what's a habit? Okay, how do we break a habit or whatever it is? So just think about it this way. One of the things that we do is clean a house. That would be a habit. Okay, a lot of times I'm guilty. My house will be upside down, and what's funny how that affects us, because if we are working in clutter, that's really how we act, or that's how we react, right? Another one would be, you want accountability, So here are things that start adding together, and you have to really think about it. Well, how is that really affecting me? So now you can go ahead and add on to that.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead with the accountability part also.
Okay.
So we have several people, including family members, that their bad habits will include accountability. And when it comes to accountability, what they do is avoid messages, avoid text, avoid emails. You know who you are.
Clients too.
That's right. You know who you are.
Busted.
That's a bad habit.
Yep.
To just avoid, to ghost the fitness trainers, the coaches, anybody that's trying to help you out. That's a bad habit. You need to break that.
A tip. Just by you doing that, you're already telling me I'm off track. I'm
Guilty.
Guilty.
Yep. So with that, that's a bad habit. Break that habit. The accountability there is to help you. It's not there to hurt you in any way, but help you to become better. Once you learn to break that habit, you're going to see your eyes open up, your mind open up. You'll start being more open-minded about things, not just in the fitness industry and not just in health, but in everything, and being an entrepreneur if you are, in your work life, whatever. Create that accountability with yourself, with somebody else, with your coach, with your boss, your supervisor, whatever that may be. Hold yourself accountable. Get somebody else to hold you accountable.
So one of the things that you want to do is realize you have a habit that needs to be changed. That's got to be the first thing. Is if we're in denial, nothing will ever change, I promise you.
Write it down.
Write it down. Admit what needs to be changed. Okay, that's number one. Then number two is you have to think about it. It's like, okay, so I've got something that I need to work on. Then you've got to change your mindset, because if you've got that victim mentality, you're never going anywhere. You're going to stay there because you're going to think, oh, poor me. Yeah, that doesn't take you anywhere.
Nope.
So, no, all it is just pity party for yourself. And listen, I am the type of person that the first time you talk to me about it, listen, I'm going to, console you, give you time because you need to vent. But the second time we talk, we better be talking about finding a solution. Okay? Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's going to be you. You're the one that's going to dwell on it. You're the one that's going to stay there. There's no changes. We got to think about a plan of attack. How do you get there? He brought up a good point. Friends that support you, an accountability team. You know, when you've got two coaches here, guess what do? Accountability.
Yep. Now, we've had several friends, family, clients, and all the in between that. What happens is let's say the husband or the wife comes on board and wants to change their life. So the spouse doesn't like it. So what are they going to do? Start sabotaging.
What does that mean?
So what they're going to do is, hey, we should go out and eat. Oh, I want to diet. It's okay. You can have one cheat meal coming from your spouse or your friends.
Hey, that was directed at me. Just kidding.
It was. But on a serious note, it is true. We've seen it several times where there have been, I'm not saying this is everybody's case, but the husband doesn't like the wife to lose too much weight or get in shape because men start looking at them. They start getting jealous. We've had
multiple.
Yes.
Multiple.
That the husband literally sabotages. But also at the same time, it's your responsibility to stay on track, not to let that happen. Sometimes it kind of is sneaky Pete, right? So you don't realize it's happening until you start gaining the weight back and everything else. So your friends could be the same way. Hey, let's go out and party. Let's go out and drink. They're helping you stay in the bad habits, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying don't go out and have a good time, but don't be doing that 3 or 4 or 5 times a week.
And then complain about the results you don't see.
Plain and simple.
So on that, kind of adding on to that, breaking habits, it's not an easy thing. Okay, I'm going to tell you that straight up. It's not easy, but at the end of the day, it's going to take lots of practice. You're going to fail, but you got to practice. It's going to take a lot of dedication, and it's going to take a lot of strong will. Okay, so that willpower, you're going to have to practice it because it's not something that's just going to be a night and day. Oh, I broke that habit. If you did, let me tell you, if you go cold turkey, 9 out of 10, you'll be back.
Yep.
And that's not what we want you to do.
That's right. We want you to create better health for yourself.
Yes.
Whatever your goals is, the ultimate goal is better health. Live longer, live better, live stronger. Most people don't realize, could you take a wild guess at how many people die each year of heart disease? It's over 600,000 people. It's the number one leading cause of death in the U.S. It's heart disease. And it all boils down to taking care of yourself. Yeah, there's some cases out there that are hereditary, but that's few and far in between. The leading cause is go down the street, fast food. Look at all the fast food joints. Look how many people indulge in that weekly. I used to work with people, honestly, that would eat fast food at least twice a day. Twice a day.
What's the second one? Is it obesity?
The second one is going to actually be cancer is the second leading cause of death. But even with the heart disease, that's going to boil back down to obesity is a cause of that.
Yes. And guys, I mean, we're parents here, so just FYI, you sit here and you're exhausted and you're tired and you're bringing this fast food. Guess who's eating this? Guess who's being affected with this? It's not only you, it's your kids. And if you look around nowadays, our children are obese. They are big. We need to stop that. You need to change that. I mean, we are instilling these horrible habits in this next generation that, I'm seriously, we've got kids that are pre-diabetic at the age of 10.
Or diabetic.
Yes, already. And that's not okay. That's not okay. I remember when I was growing up, we were lucky if we went to McDonald's and played at the playground on a Sunday. I believe it was a Sunday that we would go, and that was once in a blue moon. And if we ever went to go out and eat, it was after church, and that was Luther's. I don't know if it's still around. I don't think it's still around. Or Luby's, because those were my dad's favorite places. And even then, those are not really that bad compared to like McDonald's, Burger King, and people live off that. Not once, not twice, sometimes 3 times a day, and it's bad, guys. That's really bad.
Yep, and Also, we're here today because we've had to personally break all these bad habits. You know, we've personally had to create our own good habits. We didn't have the accountability. We had to hold ourselves accountable. And all you want us to do is eat bad.
Yeah, I love it. I did. I love to eat. You may not think so, but I can eat. But the whole thing here is, you know what I used to eat for breakfast? My breakfast consisted of a Snicker bar and a Coke. That was my breakfast. It was my favorite go-to. Now think about that. That's just poison now. Like, do you know what Coke can do? It can clean your car. It can clean the battery. It can clean your toilet. I mean, all the wonderful things it does, but it doesn't help your body.
Destroys your body.
Yeah.
So we always tell people when you're trying to break the habits, you know, especially like I've had a lot of clients that's their worst habit, honestly, is Cokes.
Oh.
So we tell them, hey, listen, you know, slowly break that. If you drink 5 Cokes a day, let's slowly cut it down.
Yes.
Start drinking 4. You know, 2 weeks later, a week later, start drinking 3, then 2, then 1 until you can cut them out. Sugar is very addictive.
Yes, it is. It's actually worse than cocaine. But for that, just think about it this way, okay? It's not about going cold turkey on anything. We never ask you to do that. We want you to acknowledge, 1, acknowledge what the problem is. Then 2, start making changes, you know, or start thinking of ways to break that habit, okay? One of the biggest things here is, you know, if you're going to succeed, you've got to be willing to try, and try.
And try again.
Yeah, you know.
You're going to fail.
Yeah, and it's all part of it. And, you know, one of the biggest things is if you do fail, don't sulk. Don't stay in pity. Get up and try again. Try again. This is all part of the journey. And sometimes I have clients are like, oh, well, you know, I messed up. And, okay. And, well, you know, I'm listening. What happened? Well, they stay there. No, that's not, that quitting is never an option. Quitting is never an option. So you better get up, dust it off, and keep going, okay? That's one of the biggest things.
Yep, and like we tell people, just because you're going out with your family eating a bad meal, it's not ruining your whole week. Yes, you may be bloated for a day or 2, but get back on track. You know, stop letting that one meal dictate your whole week or your whole month.
However, if you are truly serious and you're truly committed and you decide to go out with family, let me give you a tip. 1, find out where you're going. 2, go through the menu.
Yep.
3, pre-plan out what you're going to eat so that you're not given into temptation. Okay? And then when you get there, enjoy the meal, you know? And then if there's like something that's on that menu that's just like, oh, I really want to have that, guess what? Find somebody else to order it and pick off their plate.
Or take enough food, a bite or 2, to kill the craving and give it away.
Yeah, I'd pick off somebody else's, right, baby?
All the time.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a perfect idea of how to prevent yourself from falling off track, guys, okay? So go on, hon. What's next?
So with those habits is being lazy
Oh.
or not being active enough. And it doesn't have to be to where you're getting up running 10 miles a day. Get up and walk your dog around the neighborhood. Walk your kids around the neighborhood. Walk with your kids. Just get out. You know, well, you know how some of the people have the leash on the kids, right? If the kids are little enough, walk your kid. But seriously, get out the house. For me, that was, I noticed a couple of months ago, one of my biggest things is when I get off work, was to just not do anything. And it got to the point to where, like, man, this is really affecting me mentally. Like, I feel like I should be a lot busier, should be doing something. So what we did was join jiu-jitsu.
Yes, but real quick, go back. He was working crazy hours.
Yes, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, but you know, just to kind of give a little of information, there was little to no sleep, seriously, and all he wanted to do was sleep. So it's very important that people realize that when you have not had enough sleep, it affects your cognitive thinking. It affects it affects everything.
Your weight loss, your digestive system, the
Yes.
whole nine.
Yes.
That's another bad
Yeah.
habit is not sleeping enough.
Exactly. Minimum 6 hours, guys. Minimum 6 hours
And then
of
if
sleep.
you can take naps, even if they're 20 minutes, listen, your body will appreciate
In
it.
addition to the 6 hours.
Yes.
Don't be trying to add 20, 20, 20.
I literally got
Yeah.
to where one of the habits was not sleeping enough, but it was also at the time working 14 hours a day some days, and then trying to get everything else done. It wasn't happening, and that was a bad habit. Honestly, that job was a bad habit that had to be broken.
Yep.
Thank God it's broke.
Yes, thank God. Yes. So another thing too that I wanted to add real quick with the whole socializing, because guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have no social life right now.
But she's getting ready for a show.
But I'm getting ready for a show, okay? So in regards to that, you have to make sacrifices. And that is a sacrifice that I make. Am I forced to do it? No, nobody forces you to do it. But at the second, at the other end, it's like, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice to get to your goal? So for me right now, listen, I love my family. I love my family and I love the way they cook. But my willpower is strong. But there's days, especially during that time of the month, and you ladies know, where I will cave. So I know that if there's going to be food, I'm going to either get there before the food or after the food and leave before the food comes out. Because I don't want to be caught in a situation where I know I will be tempted. So I'm sharing that with you because, listen, I'm not saying don't go. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying, don't be social. I'm saying learn what your triggers are. That's one of the biggest things. Is it people? Is it circumstances? Is it situations? What is your ability to be able to say no and not break? That has to be something that you have to know yourself, because at the end of the day, there's going to be sacrifices made, and sadly to say, if you don't make sacrifices to reach these new goals that you've set, which here we're most likely speaking about becoming healthier, more active, the sacrifice is going to be you.
Yep, that is true.
So
one of the greatest things I've heard is you cannot have change without sacrifice. So it's either for the better or for the worst. Either you sacrifice your body because you want to eat bad all the time, your health, you sacrifice in your health, your body, for the taste of food, or you can sacrifice the taste of food for the most part. Healthy food don't have to be boring.
no, it does not.
For your health to become better.
Yeah. And the second, another one too, is don't be complacent. I can't talk. Don't become complacent. That means,
Complacent.
thank you. What did I say? Complacent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
Spanglish.
Okay. So don't become complacent.
There you go.
Thank
got it.
you. Don't become complacent, okay? So that means don't stay in your comfort zone. Don't
Get out.
Yes, that's got to be one of the biggest things. And let me tell you why. When you stay in that comfort zone, those habits that you work so hard to get where you are right there, guess what? You're going to revert. You can go back to those old habits, and before you know it, you lost 10 pounds. Before you know it, those 20 pounds you lost because you started being comfortable and you're in that same situation. You start picking up those old habits, and guess what? Real soon, all that weight that you put on is going to come right back on.
Yep. And it doesn't even matter about the weight with some of the goals. People have goals to lift more weight or run longer distance or to be able to run, period. Once you hit that comfort zone, all that's going to disappear, especially once you stay in that comfort zone. What we like to tell people is let's say you set a goal for losing 50 pounds, you hit that, set another goal. It doesn't have to be to continue to lose weight if you don't want to. Let's say your goal is to become more active or to become, to run your first marathon, to do a mud run, whatever the case may be, do a pull-up, whatever. Set that next goal, even if it's a small one. It's going to take time to get there, and then set another goal, and then set another goal.
Think of it this way. You ever learned a second language, and you're like, oh,
No.
man.
She doesn't want to teach me Spanish.
Whatever. That's a whole different topic. We can talk about that one later. Okay, so it's kind of like that. So if you learn the language and you don't practice it, you lose it. It's the same thing. It's the same concept, guys. You got to use it. You got to be active with it so that you don't lose these habits. You don't lose this language. Oh, God, that was funny, babe. Hot mess. Okay.
Guess what? I had to break the habit of asking her to teach me more Spanish.
Blah,
now I just had to
blah,
download
blah.
an app to start learning Spanish on my own because
I'm
she
so
doesn't wanna
proud of
teach me.
him. I'm so proud of him. He's learning, guys. It's a whole different conversation. So don't try to make me look evil here because they didn't
I
even
didn't say
like
evil.
that. Well, that would be evil if I didn't want to, but I did. Anyways, so where were we? Okay, so how do you break old habits? So one of the biggest things is hire yourself a personal coach, hire yourself a life coach, hire yourself amazing trainers. Amazing trainers. We can help you with this, guys. But one thing that I will tell you is a coach, a trainer, a life coach, whatever it is, can only take you as far as you'll let them.
Yep, absolutely.
You have to want it more than they do. And I know I tell my clients is, listen, we're here. I can't do more because you're not willing to do more. You got to meet me halfway. You got to go. You got to go. You got to push. Because if you don't, guess what? We're fighting against the current. And that doesn't go well.
No, it don't.
All right. What else? What else you got, Larson?
Well, food. And
All right.
this is one thing we always touch on is the food. Like you said, that's one of that's your kryptonite, right?
Oh
It's
my God, that
food.
is mine. Guys, I love bread. I love cheese. What cheese Danish? The cheese Danish cheesecake. Oh, chocolate chip cookies when they're melted in the microwave and you see the gooey chocolate just hanging. Oh my God, that is so good.
So find alternatives. Buy you some protein cookies.
Yes.
Granted, they're not going to taste the same.
But it
you-
helps.
You will get used to them. And then
Yes.
later on, you can trade those in for something else once you break that habit.
You want to talk about evil real quick? Hold on. So have y'all heard of bolis? Mexican bolis, you know, what they come in the little plastic bag? Well, my family, one of my aunts, she makes them and they're like amazing. So they went and they bought about 20, 30 bolis. They bring them home and they're all like walking around. So guess what? I want a boli, but I can't have a boli. So I made me some branch chain amino acid popsicles.
BCAA popsicles.
It works. It works.
They're actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good. So I'm sitting here just, sucking away on my little popsicle while they're over there having coconut, tamarindo, and strawberry, and what else, babe?
Vanilla.
Vanilla. But again, it's like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want your goals? They're doing it right in front of me, and guess what? Here I am. That tastes just like coconut. But that, again, those are things. Find alternatives is what he's talking about.
Yep, that's a habit to break.
Real quick. One of the biggest things that we hear from our clients is that once they start eating healthier, they start cleansing their bodies. And no, I don't mean by detox teas, detox juices.
No, don't do that.
No, your body naturally does that once it starts replacing all this crap food for healthier foods, okay? And it's not boring and it's not dull and it's tasty. It all comes back to how you cook things. But what I'm trying to say is that when they decide to go back and have a bad cheat meal, oh, they are paying for it. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I used to eat that way, And that's the funny part. Is like you don't know what you're doing to your body until you actually clean your body from doing all of that. So just the thought, if you're ever curious and you really want to know the true effects and how food actually tastes, that's another one. He makes this amazing steak, literally no seasonings. And
It's a little bit.
well, a little bit, but compared to the
Oh yeah, restaurants.
yeah. I mean, they're like they put God knows how many seasonings, and it's like you're tasting the seasonings on the steak, but here you're tasting the steak, and it's so good. You see, I'm a fatty. I am. Okay, go ahead.
So that's what we traded our bad habits for. Like when we want a burger or something, we just make it at home.
Oh yeah.
We make a healthier option, usually turkey burgers or extremely lean beef, wheat buns. We don't have to have mayonnaise and all the other stuff. But
Sour cream is an alternative for
yes.
that, though.
So what we do is we trade in our bad habits for better habits.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't wake up the next morning as bloated and you don't feel as bad, and you can actually make this stuff fit in your macros if you're following macros. So you don't have to fall off track.
Yes. Now, you have to remember, okay, so cravings, well, they will come back. They will come back, so just don't be alarmed. Okay, this is all part of it. That's when you really need to understand, okay, it's like, what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I address this weakness? First of all, that does not make you weak. That actually makes you stronger because you are acknowledging that you are dealing with the situation at hand. So what you do is you make an alternative. Okay, so for example, chocolate chip cookies. Let's go find us a protein cookie. Lenny and Larry's makes this delicious cookie that all you got to do is throw it in the microwave, add some coffee with that, and it tastes delicious. Okay, like the ice creams. You know, I can't have those ice creams, so I went in and I made myself an alternative. Things like that. Okay, so don't sit there and dwell, and don't sit there and be upset. It does happen. Those cravings do happen, especially for us ladies during that time of the month. And guys, do you too. Y'all have a time of the month. I don't care what anybody else says. Right, babe?
Sure, if you say so, boss.
Okay, go ahead. Es tu turno.
See, she don't want to teach me, but she'll speak it at me. Usually when she's mad. So we tell people to focus and to create new habits, kind of like you create a habit to wake up early and go to work. Mm-hmm. Whether it's from your home now or you're having to go to the office, it's still a habit. You don't want to do it, but you have to do it. You got to pay those bills, pay your health bills, right? Mm-hmm. Make better habits, make better choices. Start out with a couple of times a week. That's what we tell people that have never worked out or just starting to work out after 10, 15 years is do it twice a week to start out. Create that habit. Mm-hmm. Create your mind to remember to get up and do that at least twice a week and then go from there.
So if that's one of your goals, okay, one of the things that we always say, okay, at the beginning, it's going to be very hard. We know this. Your body's going to be like, what are you doing to me? You're going to be sore. You're going to be exhausted, blah, 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 blah. Number one thing is go home, avoid the sofa. Avoid the sofa at all cost. Go work out. Go work out. Go do your cardio. The sofa should be the last thing you see before the end of the day. Right, babe?
Yep, absolutely.
Go for a walk. Go take the kids for, what did you say? Go
walk your kids. Put them on a leash.
Okay. And then, that's going to help you. So that's going to be another one. So as you progress, guys, these habits that you build are going to get easier. They're going to get better. And then before you know it, you're going to look back and you're like, man, I've come a long way. It's not going to happen overnight. Never does. Never does. Here I am, 7 years now?
7 years.
Wow. 7 years now in this journey, guys. And it didn't take, And it didn't happen overnight, guys. God knows that we made our mistakes. But guess what? That's why you hire a coach here. Literally, I am a fat person on the inside, okay? And so is he. And we are going to tell you how to fix those habits that you're dealing with, how to correct them, what to do instead, of giving into these guilty pleasures that we may have. But we'll guide you through it. We'll coach you through it, and if we're not the people for you, that's okay. Find you somebody who will. You're never alone in this journey. That's the beauty of it, You've got to be able to find yourself a strong support system.
And with, before we wrap up, a couple of things I want to touch on is, especially as the older we get, you hear a lot of people complaining about their age, how age is hitting them hard. Go back and look at some of our transformations on our website. Even Karina and myself, if you go back and look at our old pictures, even from 10 years ago, we look 20 years older than we do now.
Yes.
You don't understand the fountain of youth is in your health, is in your food. I can promise you that. Even if you go back and look at the pictures of Karina with her teardrop tattoo.
You just had to throw. Punch you on that one.
Y'all heard that threat, right? She looked like she was 40 something years old.
I did.
And now she looks way younger than what she really is.
Wondering. And I'm proud of my age, man. Let me tell you what.
Let me tell you, and even our clients and friends and family that have gotten on the journey, if you go back and look at their pictures, their transformation pictures, just from 6 months or a year, they look like they rejuvenated their health. They look 10 years younger.
Yes.
I mean, just it's amazing to see. And then not only that, also you have your health also that's being reversed back to your younger self. You know, a lot of people we deal with have type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, on all kind of medications. Once you start taking care of yourself, all that medicine can go out the window.
Yes. But you got to remember, again, it's a sacrifice you have to be willing to make.
It's a sacrifice. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, let's think back. You're looking for breaking habits. So think new direction, change your routine. So number 1, write out your daily routine, okay? That's one of the things, excuse me, that's going to allow you to see what's going wrong, okay? So once you write out your routine, then you're going to be able to look at the holes in the plan. Well, you know what? I've got this and this and to do. I can apply it here at this time. So for example, if you want to work out and you know that if you were to wake up a little bit earlier and get that done earlier in the morning, that means you would be able to come home and actually relax instead of having to rush to go to the gym or go work out, and you'll still have more energy. There is nothing better than working out early in the morning, guys. And even our clients, when they start, they are like, oh no, waking up early. Listen, once they make that change, they look back and they're like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like, it's amazing. It really does. It makes your day very, very active. Then 3, I was reading a list, okay? Losing time. Stop losing time, That's one thing we don't ever get back. You've got to be very conscious of what time and what you're doing during that time, because that's unfortunately something we can never reverse the clock, but you can reverse your age by taking care of yourself.
That's right.
And also, we're going to work on discipline. That's part of it. So one of the biggest things is you got to be able to learn to adapt to new habits.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think we're closing right now, baby.
Yep.
Okay, so new routine, break negative cycles that, keep you locked up.
Write down your bad habits.
Write down those bad habits. So remember, routine is control. Control is power. Planning and not reacting is what happens.
That's right. So don't forget to follow us, guys, on our Strength and Pain Fitness IG. Right?
Yes, Strength and Pain Fitness on Instagram. Facebook, it's Strength and Pain Fitness, LLC. And
check out our website.
Check out our website at strengthandpainfitness.com. And also, don't forget to subscribe at our Spotify, and that is SIP Warriors. Guys, don't forget to share. Sharing is caring.
That's right. If you have a family member, share it with them.
Yeah.
Especially somebody needs a little motivation, needs to change their health or their life when they don't want to listen to their family or friends. Send them on over.
Oh, real quick, before I forget, guys, as you know, I am going to be competing at the Las Vegas show here real soon on August the 14th. This is going to be my pro debut. We are selling Karina team shirts that were designed by Adrian Dazard. And if you're not following him, be sure to go check out his Instagram. He's an amazing graphic designer. So if you'd love to support us, if you like to support us, go and pick you up a shirt. You can find them at Strength and Pain Fitness under apparel. strengthandpainfitness.com. So thank you so much again for having us with you. And I hope you learned something and you enjoyed us.
Yes, guys. Thank you for tuning in and have a blessed day.